Hello to this video, and today I'm going to take into the best prog rock, which I believe is a British acquired taste that it's really not American, it's not from the rest of Europe, even if there are some bands in Germany, France, that would fall in that category. I think it's more unique in ways it separates from the blues and gets into either classical music, European, or um, British folk and humor. So, first, I would like to mention that Frank Zappa, I don't think belongs to Prog. He's US rock, but linked to contemporary classical music. He's a unique maverick and cannot be classified in that group. Neither would I dare to include Chick Corea in 1,000 years into Prague. Clearly, he's one of the leaders of the fusion jazz rock from his participation in with Miles in Beaches Brew. Actually, I think he's one of the top electric piano players, the Fender's Rhodes. And that's something that Andy didn't mention, his role in Beaches Brew, particularly in tunes like Spanish Key. I think with Joe Zawinul, I don't think that was Larry Young, it could be. Joe Zawinul being one of the popularizers of the Fender Rhodes with Ray Charles when he was in Cannonball's Otherly Band, notably in their hit Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. In Beaches Brew in Spanish K, they play one of the greatest uh, jazz fusion segments ever recorded, in my opinion, playing a kind of spontaneous exchange with their pianos, not cutting on each other, but complementing and getting every time more out, so to say, until Miles brings everybody back to the center, so to say, as he usually does. Uh, I thought that segment of Chick Corea that I was unique to thinking it was so extraordinary. But then when I saw Michael Mann's, Miles fan and also a jazz fan, in his movie Collateral Damage with Cruz in his one of his two best appearances, in my opinion, and Jamie Foxx. Um, there is a moment in a nightclub where somebody gets killed because he doesn't know an answer to Miles Davis' biography. That's the degree of Michael's man devotion to Miles. And band of that musician who gets killed when they are playing on stage is precisely this segment of Beaches Brew with the pianos. So then I realized that I was not the only one thinking that was so amazing. And with a background of Jack DeJohnette and Don Alias, the music flows. It's like exhilarating at the same time, light and moving. It's something. But my point here is that Chick Corea would never dare to put him in a group of progressive rock musicians. So I don't like that many, and truth is, I haven't heard that many because at one point with symphonic prog, I got tired and I never heard. But there were bands that I never liked a tune. Sorry, which are, for example, Genesis. I never could understand how they could be so popular. So in my list at number 8, I would have Yes, with Close to the Edge and You and I. Not my favorite band, but at least Close to the Edge. Mm, uh, at one point, I liked it with this kind of extensive, continuous, um, uh, long, shifting set of songs that are unified, and I found it original. At number 7, I would have King Crimson, which are to me the first to do progressive rock with um, uh, an extraordinary first record in the Court of the Crimson King, which is a proto heavy metal and heavy rock, and also has the typical British melancholy with the wonderful voice of Greg Lake, for example, in Epitaph, which is the tune I like the most of the record. And I used to like, of course, in the Court of the Crimson King, and the another song that I favored is Formentera Lady, which is one of the songs in Ireland, where Robert Fripp kind of records the guitar backwards from the way he plays it. It has a very strange effect, but very appealing. And the song is not pretentious at all. It's kind of simple with a background that get into almost a mysterious feeling until the guitar solo starts. And it's quite emotionally impactful with this technique he uses, which I don't know if that's what he did, but I seem to remember. Then I have Jethro Tull, which is only half of its career prog. I think that the best part, which goes up to Aqualung, is not prog at all. It's a rock band, also one of the founders of heavy rock. Uh, to me, as much of founders as Black Sabbath or more, with Aqualung. I also love the earlier Living in the Past and some live recordings. But Aqualung is almost a perfect rock record. It has it's heavy and with lyrics even if the battle against the darkness of religion is something already in the past, it is not really. There is a lot of superstition and harm also done by religion today, in my opinion. And the way he deals with it, for example, with my God, is so powerful with this heavy rift starting slow and then exploding. It's, of course, comes from their background as a blues band. Uh, and it shows in a positive way. And the lyrics, even if a little bit dated, they could be applied today still. When he says with kind of a resentment, as if somebody who's felt the oppression of the church. He says, You are the God of nothing." And wow, for a kid who was in a society where uh, national Catholicism was the version of fascism, that was something else. Um, and then tunes like Locomotive Breath, which seems made for today, even more than in the 60s or 70s. Uh, uh, Everybody's brilliant there, from the starting bluesy piano introduction to the guitar scratching Les Paul to the drummer, incredible, and of course the incendiary solo flute. This is represents the craziness of the world that's going like a train out of rails, or that nobody can stop. It's too late. I think it has a lot of contemporary value. But that was before the Prog period. Uh, in the Prog period, I think the one I like is Thick as a Brick. Has this strange British humor that sometimes I don't get, but I get the music, this acoustic electric mix, the dynamics, the continuity of the suite, which it takes a lot of confidence to embark in such adventure, and it works for them. So I would include that record and maybe some of the later uh, as progressive rock, but not before. Then I have Pink Floyd, which really is not progressive rock. It's a rock band, and it defies categorization. It's a band that I enjoy. I love Dark Side of the Moon, a perfect record. The lyrics are smart. Money, for example, if that's Roger Waters, it makes a lot of sense. Um, and it's one of these records that has a unity in all its tunes that makes it almost perfect in each genre. But I don't consider Pink Floyd prog. Like Echoes is another great instrumental, this time instrumental piece by Pink Floyd. And to me, they sound like rock. Same after in their so-called more commercial efforts. Echoes is not so much wish you were here or have a cigar or shine your on your crazy diamond or even the wall with its anti-oppressive educational system, funky guitar and solo. Uh, I think, and of course, comfortably numb, a great critique of the baby boomers generation. Um, I think that, yes, Pink Floyd, I put them there, but I don't think that they are really a band to be classified in these progressive rock groups. Then in four, I would include Aphrodite's Child, which is made of Greek musicians, but very influenced by the British aesthetic of symphonic progressive rock, as in their tune Rain and Tears. To me, they follow in the steps of Procol Harum. ELP, I used to love Tarku's pictures at an exhibition. At the end, the only one that I like is Trilogy, and really the only piece is From the Beginning. I think it's a great song. Great, like it's a pity that he didn't wasn't a leader making more songs, and with his beautiful voice. The lyrics are clever. He plays a great guitar solo, simple but choosing his notes carefully. A mix of electric and acoustic that give warmth to the tune. Um, um, Perfect. And the rest I don't like it as much, but I enjoy the Moog played by Emerson, who in general I like better in his previous group, the Nice. And the last two are the beginnings of progressive, symphonic progressive rock. And there are two master, I would say, tunes, classic historical. One is Muddy Blues, 19 White Satin, which have this British melancholy and some kind of darkness that it's kind of unique and anticipates a lot of the symphonic rock, but with the lyricism of the Muddy Blues. This song to me is unique with his bluesy flute solo, etc. And finally, the number one, it could have been inferred from what I said before, is In a Wider Shade of Pale. It's the perfect song to me. And Procol Harum anticipated all the psychedelia, symphonic progressive rock, psychedelic lyrics, baroque rock that came after with a perfect tune. Maybe it's too close to Bach. That's the only problem I would have. Um, I've heard some Bach and it's too close to it, but in any case, it sounds excuse me, beautiful, and it's a classic forever as a song. So that's about it. I claim no particular um, knowledge about progressive rock, but it's in part because I don't like it that much in what I heard. Um, uh, I want the critique is, of course, what they leave out from the rock that comes from uh, the tradition of uh, blues and even jazz that enriches rock and roll in the British bands of the 50s that did that step to kind of recreate rock and roll into rock. So precisely that's what's left out by many, the great majority of progressive rock bands, and that's why I don't connect with them at all. So thanks for listening, and I don't answer here to Andy's tirade on the the British Empire. In my last week video, I dealt with it extensively. And what I think that maybe I'll do it in another video, Andy was whitewashing the damage of the British Empire, which probably is still the most murderous ever in terms of direct aggression to other countries, not indirect and not by economic means, probably. That has been definitely surpassed, as the Nobel Prize Amartya Sen showed with its comparisons of India and China. And Yale's mm, philosopher, economist, public health scholar, now I can't remember his name, but also showed that poverty under the current economic globalized system accounts for, in the last, say, 50 years, for many more deaths than all the wars of the 20th century, the major wars and the minor. So maybe I'll go back to it because it's important to debunk this whitewashing. It's like if one says the argument is as follows. What Andy does is, yes, the British Empire was bad, but compared to others, it was not so bad because Churchill was a great fellow and those were terrible. It's as if uh, your best friend betrays you by sharing an intimate uh, feeling or personal issue to strangers. And he says, I did wrong, but so and so did much worse. Or after all, I said it to people who are not so likely to say it to others. It's not really uh, a sincere acknowledgement of what was done wrongly. It's really a false way of acknowledging the deeds of the, in this case, British Empire, which at around and I think it's conservative, 150 million people dead, probably stands at the top of the most murderous empires in the history of humankind. So I totally find unacceptable that whitewashing by Mr. Andy. And it's I call it anti-Andy because Rick Beato would never do that. He's a very sociable Italian who's a genius of making friends. He knows how to relate to everybody and sticks to the music. But on the other hand, uh, Andy has all the right to say what he thinks, and he actually, I have an aesthetic much more closer to Andy. And he has all the right to say what he thinks, and it's good that he does it. Means that he has ideas about the world. If you only know about music, probably you don't even know music because music is related to politics, to economics, to culture, definitely, because it's part of it. And Andy knows that and works with it, which is a virtue. But at the same time, he needs to accept that if he says something that others consider it's not truth, that they are going to try to debunk it. Thank you very much.